Hey everybody, welcome back to another Ford Ranger video. Well, now that I've got my pre-burner light bar installed and I no longer have the LED bar inside the opening right there, there's a bit of a blank space. So a little bit of research shows that you can install the 4x4 hooks on this two-wheel drive edge. The mounting location right here and right there. So I went on to eBay and picked up some hooks. Let's take a look. And here they are. They just came in the mail. 3 bolts per hook, right and left side. And these are a little bit dirty and have a little bit of corrosion on them. So I'm gonna clean them up and paint them. I think instead of going black, I'm gonna go the bronze that I have for the wheels, if I can find any extra paint laying around. And if I can't find that, I'll probably do silver. But either way, first thing I'm gonna do is get these cleaned and degreased. Looks like they definitely got some undercoating and rust and dirt on them. So get them ready for the paint. Let's clean them up. Okay, well I've got these cleaned. Use some super clean on them. There's some corrosion spots like around here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up the best I can. I'm gonna scrape them, sand them, prime them, and I'm not gonna worry too much about, corrosion that might be in places you really can't see. I'm gonna end up painting the bolts silver. Like I said, I'll do this in a contrasting color, and then it shouldn't take very long to throw them on there. So I'm gonna get to sanding. All right, well, I've done the best I can with scraping, cleaning, sanding. They're not perfect, but that's okay. I'm gonna put some filler primer on there and hope for the best. These aren't perfect, the truck isn't perfect, and for as much as you'll actually end up seeing, I think it'll be just fine. So really the only issue is where a lot of the powder coat ended up flaking off, like around the welds and everything. So anyway, I'm going to give them a quick shot of primer and let them dry. All right, little change of plans. I got these all primed and they ended up looking like crap. The rust indentations were just too deep and no amount of sanding was going to get them out. I'll go ahead and insert a picture. Anyway, so I decided try a little something different, throw a coat of this truck bed coating on there. It's gonna help even out the imperfections. It definitely won't be as long lasting as just primer and paint. In fact, you can still see a little bit of it right there. This side looks great, but over this I'm gonna go ahead and paint the top coat color of choosing. And like I said, if you were ever to wrap a strap or a chain around there, this is just gonna scratch off, but I guess that's what you have to deal with when you're trying to get something to look halfway decent. Anyway, I'm gonna let this dry, give a coat to the bottom, and then I'll let this whole thing dry overnight, come back to this tomorrow. All right, it's the next morning, and the bed liner on these has completely dried. I'm actually very happy with the way they turned out. So I think I'm gonna throw a little color on there. The bronze that I have on the wheels. Nice dark bronze. Anyway, I'm gonna grab that and give it a couple coats. There's the bottom side. Got a couple coats of clear on the bottom. While I'm letting that dry, here is the paint that I'm using. Rust-Oleum. See if I can find the specific color name. Metallic dark bronze. The color of my truck wheels. And of course, I chose a clear gloss for this rather than a matte that I use on a lot of projects. A couple more minutes, I'll flip those over, do the top side, then they'll be, once they're dry, be ready to install. Let's install them. Each one is held on by 3 bolts and they are 15 millimeters. And I don't know the torque specs. You can look those up if you want. I'm just gonna cinch them up, and I mean, I don't know that I'll actually ever use these, but anyway, I'll show you under there the mounting locations, and I don't know how much room there's gonna be, but we'll see what we can see. All right, here's the mounting location on the cross member. 2 bolts right here, and there's 1 right here. And looks like they'll go down from the top, because there's no threading here on the cross member, and then the back through the front into the welded bolts. Anyway, pretty straightforward. Let's get one installed. All right, got this side installed. 3 bolts, cinched down nice and tight. Of course, I managed to kind of scratch this up on the metal pieces, so I guess I'll have to touch that up. I'll go ahead and remove this wire that I've got zip tied to this hole right here, relocate this. This is, of course, for the front lights, and get this one installed. And just like that, this project's done. I'm pretty happy with the way they look. Subtle, but they definitely help fill that gap that was left by removing the light bar. Like I said, on this one, I did end up scratching it up just a little bit. I guess I'm not too worried about it. I'll mess around with that later. But for not a lot of money, you can add these to your Edge, your 2-wheel drive Edge, if they don't already have them. Like I said, as far as adding it to a regular 2-wheel drive, I think you have a different front cross member that's not going to have those holes in there. Not saying you can't do it, but this was just a direct bolt-up installation. I'm happy with the way the front of this truck looks. I would like to find a skid plate of some sort just to kind of complete the look, but I haven't done research on that yet. If any of you know if a regular, and I don't see why it wouldn't, but a regular 4x4 front skid plate would fit under there, let me know in the comments section. Also, let me know your thoughts on the installation of these tow hooks. So I guess that'll do it for now. Any questions, let me know. Comments, put them down below. As always, we'll catch you on the flip side.